Hi guys, today we're going to install the Granatelli Surge Tank. So a lot of guys have a different name for this. We call it a surge tank. It's really not a reservoir by definition because the radiator cap is built into it, and typically when you have the radiator cap built into it, it's called an expansion tank or a surge tank. Now what makes our product so unique is that we actually have, on the back of it you'll see here, we call it a saddle tank. This is actually considered the reservoir. In the event that on the factory, which I'll show you after I take this thing off, on the factory, if this tank were to expand or blow the cap open, it actually pukes water right out the back and straight down on the ground, and it goes all over the belts. What makes our product so unique over the other competitors that are making tanks like this is that we've actually built in our own little reservoir in here with a Petcock valve. So in the event that you did have some type of a problem and the cap were to break open or to expand to the point of above 21 psi, in our system, it would actually fill this little extra saddle tank, which makes our product NHRA legal without having to buy an extra part. So why don't you follow along as I do this quick and simple installation. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, I already loosened these clamps. I cheated while you were gone. I squished this and I locked them in. You see there's a little lock on here, so when you squeeze these and lock them in, so I've already loosened the top. So I'm going to pull this out of the way. I'm going to push this one back. We'll pull this line off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have these bolts. I'm just going to shove a bolt in here for now to prevent any leaking if it does while I'm shooting the video. The same thing on the back. Of course, this one's glued on. There you go. So I'll just put a quick bolt in there to prevent leakage. Next thing we're going to do, I'll put this out of the way so you guys can get a better video shot. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the two 10mm bolts. So now, without ever taking anything out of the tank, we're just going to kick this up this way. You'll see there's a little ear here. I'll show you on this one. So you got to be able to pull this thing back and get past the little ear. We mimic the factory ear. So we'll pull this out like this, and then I'm going to kick the tank this way. And by kicking the tank this way, it allows me to access this clip and remove this line and never lose anything from the expansion tank. So again, watch how I click this and see if I can get the clip to do it on video. It makes it a little harder when I got someone watching me, but hang on a second. So we go back here like this. And of course this one's just a little bit harder because it's a bigger clamp. There you go. So you see I squeezed it in, it locked in right there. So we're going to kick this like this, and we're going to remove this line now. I'm being careful not to spill. Okay, now this one I can see there's fluid in there, so we don't really want to lose this one. We don't want this one to spill. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply pull this tank out, and you'll see the reservoir has the fluid in it. I'm going to put this to the side. On the reservoir design, we make this nipple 1 inch, so it's about 200 thousandths oversized, so you get a good connection. So it takes a little bit of effort to push it on. Let me push it on. And then we just supply you with a regular clamp. So we pull our bolt out, and then I'm going to switch these over to a little bit more cleaner clamp. I just like these clamps better. You can use the OE clamp, but I just like these, and I'm going to supply them in the kit. Now we simply put our 2 bolts back in. I like to pull this as far forward as possible. Not that you have to, but it kind of tries to hide these little clamps a little better. There you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our reservoir, and we're simply going to drain the fluid back in. So other than that little bit that I spilled right there, you shouldn't really lose any fluid at all. So you don't even have to buy more. And now all we do is transfer the cap over. And again, it's a double O-ring, and we actually give you the double O-ring design so that the top O-ring and the top O-ring and the bottom O-ring will index on the cap as it goes. And then you know when it's full, because or when it's all the way down, just torque it down, and then it'll stop when your cap lines up. So right there, you know it's perfect. So you have the OE cap. Now, come around this way. So now what makes this product unique the 2 things that make the Granatelli product unique is, number 1, we have a built-in reservoir, so making it NHRA legal. But number 2, you'll notice our design, the taper design, it actually mimics and matches the OE design. So rather than just having a big square brick here like the competitors, we've gone out of our way to put a little bit of a shape to it, which actually gives it more of an OE look, and it still obviously clears the hood line. So we think you'll be excited about it as much as we are. Thanks for watching.